Have you ever wondered why the harder you chase something, the further away it seems to run from you? You push, you hustle, you pour everything you have into reaching that goal, but somehow it keeps slipping just out of reach. You think you're doing the right thing, you're putting in the effort, you're proving your commitment, but deep inside, you feel the weight of exhaustion and the sting of disappointment. That constant chase doesn't make you stronger. It quietly drains your spirit and whispers the dangerous lie that maybe you are not enough. The truth is, chasing often comes from fear. Fear that if you stop running, you'll never get what you want. Fear that if you slow down, someone else will take what should be yours. Fear that unless you force life to move, nothing will ever change. But here's the reality. Fear creates tension, and tension blocks flow. When you chase with desperation, your body releases stress hormones. Your mind gets cluttered. Your decisions become reactive instead of inspired. You start gripping so tightly that the very thing you long for feels suffocated, pushed further and further away. Think about the times in your life when you wanted something so badly, you could almost taste it. Maybe it was a relationship you hoped would last, an opportunity you thought was perfect, or a dream you believed was finally within reach. You gave everything, you held on, and still it slipped away. At that moment, you might have felt broken, but that loss carried a hidden lesson. What belongs to you will never require you to chase it down with desperation. What is meant for you does not run away. The universe doesn't respond to force. It responds to alignment. Chasing tells the universe you don't trust. It sends a signal of lack, of fear, of insecurity. And when you live in that state, you attract more lack, more fear, more uncertainty. But when you shift your energy, when you stop running and start allowing, you create space for something powerful. You invite life to meet you halfway. This isn't about giving up or being passive. It's about reclaiming your energy. It's about remembering that you are already whole, already worthy, already capable. The things you want are not hiding from you. They are waiting for you to stop running long enough to actually see them. Chasing blinds you. Allowing opens your eyes. If you stay with me, you will discover how to make this shift. You will see how to move from force into flow, from desperation into trust. And when you understand this, you will unlock a truth that changes everything. You don't have to chase anything. You only need to align with who you are meant to be. And what is yours will naturally find its way to you. Stay with these words, because by the end, you will not just believe in the power of allowing, you will feel it. And once you feel it, you'll never look at chasing the same way again. The endless running can end. The exhaustion can end. There is another way, a way of peace, of power, of receiving without desperation, a way that proves the universe is not against you. It's waiting to deliver. When you release the urge to chase, something incredible happens. You begin to feel a shift inside. The tightness in your chest eases. Your mind stops racing. The weight of needing everything to happen right now begins to lift. What takes its place is flow. Flow is not about doing less. It's about doing in harmony. It's the state athletes talk about when the game slows down and every move feels natural. It's the clarity artists feel when inspiration pours out effortlessly. It's the power within you that only emerges when you stop fighting against life and start moving with it. Psychologists call this state flow because it feels like being carried by a current. Think of a river. You could exhaust yourself, swimming against the water, thrashing, gasping, burning out. Or you could turn around, breathe, and let the current carry you further with less effort. The river is not your enemy. It was always designed to move you forward. Life is the same. The universe is not pushing against you. It's waiting for you to stop resisting its rhythm. Allowing is not weakness. It is courage. It is the courage to trust that what you desire is already aligning in ways you cannot yet see. It is the strength to say, I will give my best, but I refuse to destroy myself in the process. For too long, you've been told that success requires constant struggle, that only those who grind endlessly are worthy. But the science tells a different story. The greatest breakthroughs happen not in tension, but in release. When your mind is calm, your creativity expands. When your body is at ease, your energy returns. When your spirit is open, opportunities find their way to you. Think about the moments in your life when everything just clicked. You weren't chasing, you weren't desperate, you were simply present. Maybe it was meeting someone who changed your path, Maybe it was an opportunity that appeared out of nowhere. Maybe it was an idea that came to you in stillness. That wasn't luck. That was alignment. That was life showing you what happens when you stop forcing and start flowing. The power of allowing is not about doing nothing. It's about shifting how you act. Instead of saying, I must make this happen now, you begin to say, I am ready for this when the time is right. That simple shift transforms your energy. Instead of desperation, you radiate trust. Instead of panic, you radiate confidence. And here's the secret. People, opportunities, and even success itself are drawn to confidence, not desperation. They are pulled toward calm, not chaos. The moment you choose flow over force, you reclaim your peace. You send a new signal into the world. I am ready, I am open, I am aligned. And when you hold that energy, life responds. The phone call comes, the door opens, the person appears, the chance reveals itself, and it feels effortless, not because you didn't work, but because you stopped fighting against the very current that was trying to carry you. This is the turning point. This is where exhaustion transforms into energy and anxiety transforms into clarity. When you move with flow instead of against it, you no longer feel like a runner chasing a finish line that keeps moving. You feel like someone who knows the finish line will come to meet them right on time. And that realization changes everything. The reason this works runs deeper than belief alone. Your mind is built to shape your reality through focus. Inside your brain lives a network called the reticular activating system. Its job is simple but powerful: to filter the endless flood of information around you and highlight only what matches your expectations. When you hold a clear intention and release the need to force it, this system begins scanning for signals that align with that intention. Suddenly, you notice opportunities you would have missed. You see connections you once overlooked. You recognize possibilities that were always there, but hidden behind the fog of desperation. This is not wishful thinking. It is biology. Your brain cannot focus on everything at once, so it obeys the commands you feed it. If you feed it fear, it shows you obstacles. If you feed it trust, it shows you paths. When you chase with panic, your vision narrows and your energy collapses inward. But when you allow, your vision expands and your energy projects outward. You become receptive instead of reactive. And in that receptivity, the universe can finally meet you halfway. People are naturally drawn to energy that feels calm and confident. Think of the way you feel when you encounter someone who is steady, grounded, and assured. You trust them. You want to be around them. Now contrast that with the energy of desperation. It pushes people away. It makes opportunities retreat. Even without words, energy communicates. When you learn to allow, you send a signal of peace, of strength, of readiness. That signal pulls toward you the very things you once believed you had to run after. Allowing is emotional intelligence in its purest form. It is choosing patience over panic. It is choosing abundance over scarcity. It is telling yourself, I am enough, even as I wait. This state of being doesn't just feel better, it performs better. Studies show that people who operate from calm confidence make clearer decisions, recover faster from setbacks, and create stronger connections. Why? Because they are not blinded by fear. They can see the bigger picture. They can respond instead of react. You begin to understand that the universe has never been against you. It has been waiting for you to step out of your own way, waiting for you to stop gripping so tightly that your hands were too full to receive, waiting for you to breathe, to trust, to notice. The shift is subtle but life-changing. You stop asking, why isn't it here yet? And start recognizing it is on its way and I am becoming ready. That small change in language rewires your mind, and when your mind shifts, your life follows. What you choose to believe, you begin to perceive. What you perceive, you begin to attract. And what you attract, you eventually receive. This is the quiet power of allowing. It is not magic. It is alignment between your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. When those align, reality bends to meet you. You stop chasing what runs, and you start receiving what stays. And that is when you discover the universe was never withholding. It was preparing. Letting go is the part that feels the hardest, yet it is the very key that unlocks everything. Control gives us the illusion of safety. We believe that if we can manage every detail, plan every outcome, and hold tightly enough, nothing can slip through our fingers. But deep down, you know this isn't true. Life has shown you that control is fragile. No matter how carefully you try to hold on, the unexpected always finds a way in. And the more you tighten your grip, the more what you want seems to resist. Imagine holding sand in your hand. The harder you squeeze, the faster it escapes. But when you open your palm, the grains rest peacefully. The same principle applies to dreams, to relationships, to opportunities. Desperation chases them away, but trust allows them to stay. Letting go does not mean losing power. It means stepping into a different kind of power, the kind that comes from trust, from patience, from knowing that you are supported even when you cannot see how. Research in psychology reveals that people who embrace uncertainty build stronger resilience and report higher levels of life satisfaction. They don't waste energy resisting what they can't control. Instead, they use that energy to grow, to adapt, to prepare for the moment when life presents the right opening. Letting go is not about surrendering your dreams. It's about surrendering the illusion that you alone must force them into existence. It's about doing your part and then releasing the outcome. This release is not weakness, it is strength. It takes far more courage to loosen your grip than to cling in fear. It takes deep faith to say, I will give my best and I will trust the rest. That sentence alone can change your life because it replaces anxiety with calm. It replaces panic with peace. It replaces resistance with readiness. When you let go, you create space. Space for new ideas, new people, new paths. Space for life to surprise you with something better than what you imagined. Space for the universe to rearrange itself in your favor. The truth is, the tighter you hold on to one outcome, the more blind you become to all the other ways it could unfold. You think you are protecting your dream, but often you are strangling it. Letting go allows your dream to breathe, to grow, to take shape in a way you may not have expected, but will recognize as right when it arrives. Letting go is an act of trust, and trust is magnetic. When you embody trust, your energy changes. People sense it. Opportunities sense it. Life itself senses it. The desperate energy that once repelled begins to transform into calm assurance that attracts. You stop radiating the message of I need and start radiating the message of I am ready. And the difference between those two states is everything. You are not here to hold the world in your fist. You are here to open your hand and let the world meet you where you are. The moment you release the need to control every outcome, you step into alignment with a power far greater than force. You step into freedom. And in that freedom, miracles can finally land. Trust grows in the small moments when you choose faith over fear. It begins when you decide that a closed door might not be punishment but protection. It deepens when you understand that a delay could be a divine rearrangement, guiding you towards something greater than what you had in mind. Each time you choose to see life this way, you strengthen the muscle of trust. And like any muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Trust is not blind. It is not a naive hope that things will magically fall into place. Trust is grounded in evidence. Look back at your own journey. How many times have you faced what felt like the end, only to discover it was a turning point? How many times did rejection redirect you towards something far better? How many times did a setback prepare you in ways you could not see in the moment? That was not coincidence. That was life shaping you for what was coming. When you practice trust, you begin to live with a quiet confidence, the kind that does not shout or demand, but radiates calm assurance. Psychology shows that trust reduces anxiety, strengthens resilience, and improves decision-making. Why? Because when you trust, your mind is not clouded by fear. You make choices from clarity, not panic. And those choices create better outcomes, which in turn reinforce your trust. It becomes a cycle. Peace leads to better action leads to better results, and better results create even deeper peace. The energy of trust is contagious when you carry it. People around you feel safer, calmer, more inspired. Your presence begins to influence your environment in ways you cannot measure. You become someone others are drawn to, Not because you are forcing anything, but because you are embodying something they crave, steadiness in a world that constantly shakes. And as this energy grows within you, the universe reflects it back through aligned opportunities, unexpected breakthroughs, and timely connections. Living with trust does not mean you stop working or dreaming. It means you work without desperation. It means you dream without anxiety. It means you show up fully while releasing the constant pressure of needing results on your timeline. You shift from asking, when will it happen, to affirming, when it will happen when it's right. The change in perspective is powerful because it removes the weight of urgency. It frees you from the invisible chains of impatience and allows you to live in the present moment with strength and grace. The deeper your trust becomes, the less you feel the need to chase. You realize that what belongs to you is not running away. You recognize that what is truly aligned with your path will not miss you. And that realization is one of the most liberating truths you will ever carry. It transforms your entire energy. You stop clinging to outcomes. You stop measuring your worth by speed. You stop doubting whether life is on your side. Instead, you stand in quiet certainty. I am ready, and what is mine is already on its way. This is the unshakable foundation that allows you to face life with courage. When storms come, you don't panic, you trust. When doors close, you don't collapse, you trust. When things take longer than expected, you don't give up, you trust. And with that trust, you are no longer chasing. You are allowing. You are walking with life, not against it. And that is when everything begins to align. Alignment is the natural result of trust. When you no longer chase and no longer grip tightly, you begin to live in harmony with the rhythm of life. Alignment is that state where your inner world and outer world no longer fight against each other. Your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions move in the same direction. You are not pulled apart by fear on one side and faith on the other. You have chosen faith, and that choice creates peace. To live in alignment is to wake in the morning with a sense of calm. Not because everything is perfect, but because you no longer demand perfection. You rise with clarity, knowing you can give your best today without being crushed by the weight of tomorrow. You move through the day with presence, aware of the opportunities that cross your path. And when you rest at night, you rest with gratitude, even if the full picture has not yet revealed itself, because you trust the process shaping you. Alignment is not passive. It is active patience. It is showing up, doing the work, staying consistent while releasing the desperate need for immediate outcomes. It is focusing on who you are becoming rather than obsessing over how or when things will arrive. The question shifts from, how will it come to me? To, am I ready to receive it when it does? That change of focus transforms your energy. You stop leaking power into things beyond your control and start pouring power into your growth, your mindset, your readiness. When you live in this state, life begins to reflect it. Opportunities emerge that feel tailor-made. People cross your path at the perfect time. Ideas surface when you are prepared to act on them. What once felt like coincidence now feels like confirmation. The truth is, alignment makes you magnetic. You no longer chase because you no longer need to. The energy you hold begins to pull towards you everything that resonates with it. This is where the universe shows its design. It doesn't respond to panic, but it responds to preparation. It doesn't open doors for fear, but it does for faith. It doesn't move under the pressure of force, but it flows to meet calm readiness. When you are aligned, you don't block the current, you ride it. And because of that, the journey feels lighter, the waiting feels purposeful, and the results feel inevitable. The real power of alignment is not just in what you receive, but in who you become along the way. You become someone who does not break under delay. You become someone who does not shrink in uncertainty. You become someone who radiates calm strength in a restless world. That version of you is far more valuable than any single outcome you once chased, because outcomes come and go, but alignment transforms your entire life. When you live aligned, you understand that nothing truly meant for you can miss you. You understand that the right doors will open when you are ready to walk through them. And you understand that peace is not found in the finish line. It is found in the way you walk the path. This is the gift of alignment, the freedom to stop chasing, the power to start allowing, and the deep knowing that what is yours is already making its way to you. The freedom you feel in alignment is the freedom of finally remembering who you are. You are not here to beg for scraps from life. You are not here to prove your worth through endless struggle. You are here to embody your worth, to stand in it fully, and to allow life to mirror it back to you. When you stop chasing, you reclaim that truth. You recognize that the things you once ran after were never the source of your value. They were reflections of it. The love you desire, the success you seek, the opportunities you long for, they are not what complete you. They are extensions of the completeness already within you. Living in this awareness transforms how you show up. Instead of desperation, you move with quiet assurance. Instead of panic, you move with patience. Instead of gripping, you move with open hands. The energy you project shifts, and the world responds to that energy. This is why aligned people seem to attract everything with ease. It isn't luck, it's resonance. Their inner state and their outer reality are matching frequencies, and that match creates magnetism. When you live this way, the pressure dissolves. You no longer feel that everything must happen today because you trust that what is for you cannot be taken from you. You no longer feel you must control every variable because you trust the intelligence of life itself. You no longer feel the need to prove anything because your worth is no longer tied to outcomes. This is the ultimate release, the deepest peace, the realization that you are already enough, and from that enoughness, everything else flows. Every step you take in alignment is a declaration. It declares that you are no longer ruled by fear. It declares that you are no longer enslaved by impatience. It declares that you are ready to live from a place of trust instead of tension. And each time you make that declaration, the universe rises to meet it. Doors open that you once thought were locked. Paths clear that once looked blocked. Connections form that once seemed impossible. Life rearranges itself to reflect the energy you now hold. The beauty of this way of living is that it does not require perfection. You do not need to always feel calm or always feel certain. What matters is the choice you return to. Even in moments of doubt, you can choose to return to trust. Even in moments of fear, you can choose to return to patience. Even in moments of frustration, you can choose to return to faith. And with every return, the muscle of alignment grows stronger. The reward is not only in what you receive, but in how you feel as you wait. You stop living as a prisoner of timelines and start living as a partner with life. You stop feeling behind and start feeling perfectly placed. You stop fighting the current and start moving with it. And this is the moment you realize you were never meant to chase. You were meant to allow. You were meant to stand in trust, to live in alignment, and to watch as the universe delivers in ways greater than you could have ever forced on your own.